From CTV News headquarters in Agincourt, you are watching Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Hello, I'm Nick Dixon. Welcome to CP24's Great Debate Season 3, which is being aired on CP24 and right across our digital streaming sites and now YouTube. Okay, if you've watched before, you may not know this, but the rules are simple. We've chosen a random topic for our guests to debate, and in segment 1, each of the guests is going to argue their side of the topic. Then, in segment 2, each guest will refute the other's opinions. It's kind of a free-for-all for 5 minutes. Now, when both debaters are finished, our in-studio panel, they will make their decision on who won and who moves to the next matchup. So let's take a look at our guests today, giving you a sense here. We've got, first of all, Lucas Myers coming up in the second part of the show today. He's covered politics and crime on your radio, and you may have even heard his Justin Trudeau impersonation on The Simpsons. Will he have a cow on the Great Debate? Find out. There is Nicole Servinis. She knows what's happening in TO, but will her skills selling on what's happening here be enough to convince our panel? And there is Kema Joseph locked into her laptop there. Is she ready to make it official here as a panelist? She's always here on CP24, but here she is at the Great Debate. And there is Gurratan Singh, suited up, ready for action from the bar to Queen's Park to corporate and strategic comms. Will his arguments carry weight with the Great Debate and our panel? So let's talk about that panel, the in-studio panel right there. What are they doing now? They will be listening. Trust me, they're paying careful attention. And of course, every episode here features 2 rounds of debates, which they will again be listening to right now. They're just making some minor notes at the end of each debate. A winner will be determined. So let's tell you what happened in episode 1 of season 3. And as you can see here, the first round was George Smitherman versus Tony Chapman, former politician versus the brand guy, Tony Chapman. George Smitherman comes out on top, arguing that brains are better than beauty, or at least more worthy. And then, on the other side of the debates yesterday, we then had Adwoa and Nsiah-Yeboah, our traffic specialist, go up against TSN Radio's Matt Cauz. Is a hot dog a sandwich? They chewed on that for about 10 minutes. Adwoa came out on top, so they will be meeting in the semifinals tomorrow. In the meantime, let's get to today's debaters and find out more about what's happening today. Kema Joseph is Say No to Advocacy and Community Builder, and Gurratan Singh is a Vice President at Crestview Strategy, also former member of Ontario Provincial Parliament. So here's round 1. Here is our topic. Now, according to the online travel site View from the Wing, middle seats are overlooked as the best seat on the airplane. Who knew? A few reasons listed were middle seat passengers get both armrests. They're close to the window and to the aisle. You also only have one person to climb over to get to the lavatory instead of 2. You have twice the chance to find a love connection with the person beside you. Okay, these reasons may not sway the average person. So for those naysayers, what's better on an airplane, the window or the aisle seat? That's the debate right now. Kema, you are arguing for the window seat. You have 2 minutes to state your case.
Perfect. So let's be honest. The window seat is not only a preference, it is an experience. And let me walk you through why the window seat is the best seat on the plane. First, of course, the obvious choice is that you get to enjoy the view from rolling clouds to city landscapes. And I know all of you at home have flown out from Billy Bishop, and I know you have taken photos from that window seat. That window seat is an escape. It is the only time you are able to actually enjoy what the world below has to offer to us. Beyond that, of course, the window seat allows you peace and tranquility. How? It is a small corner to yourself. You're able to rest if you want to rest. You're able to enjoy your comfort. You are also have a tiny bit more space, debunking the fact that the aisle seat gives you more space. Actually, the window seat gives you more space. And beyond that, you are also able to control your journey. Do you want more sunlight? No problem. Do you want less sunlight to nap? You put that thing down and you cut all the sun out. And that is control that you do not have if you are sitting on the aisle seat. Lastly, of course, like I've said, the view, more control, and not having to have elbows in your face, drink carts in your face. The window seat is the best seat on the plane.
All right, so Kema has made her compelling case for the windows, but Gurratan, you're an aisle guy. You've got 2 minutes to make your case.
So you heard from my opponent right now the so-called benefits to the window seat. But I want you to think about the last time you're in the window seat and you need to get out, to use the washroom, to get something from your bag, to maybe see someone on the other side of the airplane. And the sense of guilt, the dread, the self-conflict you had when you looked over and you saw your seatmates were fast asleep. Do you wake them up from the restful slumber, or do you suffer in silence? And this in of itself describes why the aisle seat is superior. The window seat represents captivity, but the aisle seat represents freedom. The freedom to use the washroom when you want to get up, to get something from your bag, to go visit someone across the airplane. But it's more than just freedom. It's actually good for your health. It's clear, it's backed by science. Moving during a ride in the airplane is better for your health. It's better to reduce swelling in the legs. It's better for joint pain, back pain. It can even save your life by preventing deep vein thrombosis, something that can occur when you sit too long in an airplane. It's not just freedom, it's life-saving mobility. And beyond everything, it's the kinder thing to do. When I sit down, I let everyone around me know that if you need to get up, I'm here for you. I want to create an environment where people can get up, stretch, move. It's the better choice, and it's the kinder choice.
Okay, all right. Compelling cases for both the aisle and the window. It is something I think about a lot every time I get on board a plane. So our panel, they're the ones who have to think so much about this because they're the ones who are going to judge the debates here. There'll be a lot in contestants, all these points we've accumulated. And, of course, there is one more round to go as the judges discuss this all. So you are watching CP24's The Great Debate. Round 2, the rebuttals are up next. It's a 5-minute free-for-all. You don't want to miss it. Episode 2 of Season 3, Great Debate. We are back. We've got a great debate underway right now. Of course, this is being aired on CP24 across our digital streaming sites, including YouTube as well. So contestants, you're going to be YouTube famous after this. This is round 2, where each guest gets to refute the opinions of their fellow debater. At the end of the 5 minutes, our judges, that esteemed panel, will be voting for the winner. So here's round 2. Here are the rebuttals. A reminder, if you've forgotten already, the topic we're debating now is window versus aisle seat on a plane. Kema, you're arguing for the window seat. Gurratan, you're arguing for the aisle. As I said, the aisle guy. You both have a combined 5 minutes for the rebuttals. Gurratan, you're going to kick things off.
Well, the aisle guy is the right guy. And let's start with this. When we heard Kema's points, what were they focused on? Everything is about her personal wants to see things or experience things, etc. What I'm offering you on the aisle is it's backed by science. Scientifically, this is not just opinions. It's better for your health to enjoy the ability to move around. But beyond that, it's an act of service. It's something where you can actually tell people, I'll get up, I'll move around, I'll make sure that you can have the best flying experience together. And I think that's just the nobler, the better, and the less selfish thing to do.
Oftentimes, the aisle person has their legs stretched out in the aisle. They're taking up so much space. They're bothering the middle person. You're doing no service to no one.
Well, it's how you frame it. What I'm saying is that you have a unique opportunity that only the aisle seat provides you. And that's an opportunity to say to folks, listen, we know it's better for our health. Take the guilt off your mind. I am ready. I'm willing. I will get up. I will not just service you, but I'll service myself. I'll make sure that I'm stretching. I'm preventing the impacts of jet lag and fatigue by making sure I'm getting that circulation. It's just a better thing to do.
You're putting a whole lot of impact on a single seat. What I will say that the unique experience is actually sitting by the window. The whole point of flying is able to see the and witness and enjoy the miracle of flight. You're able to look outside.
The unique thing may be the window seat, but the compassionate thing is the aisle seat. And I think compassion is something we need more in this world right now.
Compassion can also be applied to the person at the window. I can also
by suffering. The only thing that's going to be suffering is your bladder when you need to get up and use the washroom and you're too afraid. The compassion that you get in the window seat is at the expense of your own health. At the aisle seat, you don't have to sit there, need to use the washroom, or let your legs stiff up. You can move. You can freely be one with everyone on the airplane.
But it seems like you're not even arguing about the aisle seat. You're arguing about we should have an agreement as flyers that we should be compassionate towards each other, which could apply to the window seat.
I agree.
Yes, as someone who sits by the window, I can discuss with you and say, do you want the blinds up or do you want the blinds down? There's no need to be selfish as a window seater.
I think that compassion should be our North Star in everything we do. And that's something that my mom taught me, that my brother teaches me. That's something I believe very deeply. And if I have that unique opportunity to be compassionate while also being healthy and helping myself, I think that's just not just the better thing, the scientifically backed thing, but the kinder thing. Wouldn't you agree with that, Kema?
What is also scientifically backed is that you can actually catch less germs if you are sitting where? By the window, because you're seeing less people, you're interacting with less folks, you're in your corner, and that's how you can actually
for yourself. That's the self.
You're maintaining health.
But I'm saying,
arguing health benefits. I'm giving you a health benefit.
That may be one, but it pales in comparison to the multitude. Like deep vein thrombosis isn't actually a fatally thing that can occur if you sit too long in an airplane. So yeah, you may not catch the cold by being in the window seat.
How often are you taking these long flights where that can impact your health in that way? Where are you traveling to?
All the time. I'm going to Vancouver. I fly, sister. I'm and about, right? So, yeah,
For
me,
the regular
this is a deep
air
concern.
traveler who is not jet setting all over across the country and most likely taking an hour and a half, 2 hour seat, you're not getting up and down up in the plane.
You should be, though. That's the problem, Kema. You should be. You got to get up. You got to search. That's the whole problem. People, there's this like really bad trend on social media. You might be seeing of like raw dawing a flight where you just sit in and you lock in.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the incredibly negative health impacts to just sitting down and not moving around. I'm saying we have to break these traditions and break these trends. We need to be mobile, moving, and healthy together.
Okay, we got to leave it there. One thing I think we can all agree on, we both need more travelers like you, more passengers like you, because I've seen some other stuff on social media where those are the passengers I don't want to be traveling with. But okay, that was a great matchup. You know, aisle or window seat. That was the debate. Judges, let's take a look at that panel there. They've got their paddles ready. They're taking a look and considering who is the greater debater of this round. So let's see as they turn the paddles, who is it going to be? One for Kema, one for Gurratan, and Farah, two for Gurratan. Gurratan, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the greater debater of this round.
Thank you to Kema.
Kema, excellent work.
Congratulations.
We need to get that on camera right here.
There we go. Get that handshake on camera. Yeah, this
Listen,
is the great debate on
It was a great
CP24. Great debate just there. We've got two new exciting guests and an exciting new topic to battle over coming up right after the break here on CP24's Great Debate. That's good. All right, here we go for the second debate of the night here on your Tuesday edition of the Great Debate on CP24. This is season 3, and this is being aired, obviously, on CP24 and across our digital streaming sites and on YouTube. Let's congratulate, by the way, Gurratan Singh, who moments ago won his debate against Kema. Gurratan is now going to be proceeding to the semifinals. Who's he going to be taking on? Well, we're about to find out. Once again, keep in mind that in-studio panel, those chin strokers there, they are carefully watching all the action. So let's find out who's going to meet Gurratan in the semifinal. Here are the contestants that we are going to be dealing with in this bracket here. So as you see here, Lucas Meyer and Nicole Servinis are coming up in the round right here. So Lucas Meyer, a former journalist, now senior consultant, communications and media insights at Enterprise Canada, and Nicole Servinis, host of Things to Know TO, and also frequent contributor to CP24 Breakfast, which I happen to anchor as well. Nice to see both of you here today. You both have your game faces on. Nicole has a huge smile on her face. But let's get to the topic right now. The Hollywood Reporter recently ranked films that have depicted the life stories of some of the industry's most acclaimed musicians. Selena, La Bamba, Great Balls of Fire, 8 Mile, a few that made that list. So music on film, what a classic combination. But what if you could only live with one? Which would you rather live without? A world without music or without movies? Interesting topic. Lucas Meyer, you're arguing that you could live without music. You have 2 minutes to state that case. No music allowed.
Thank you, Nick, Nicole, the judges, and the viewers at home. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I recognize that I have the harder cards to play, but that's fine, because as Tom Hanks said in A League of Their Own, the hard is what makes us great. It's really simple to talk about a personal preference, and it's easy to say I could live weeks without a movie and I listen to music all the time, but that's not the winning argument that you think it is. It treats music as something supplementary, something complementary, whereas film asks more of us. It demands more of us. It says, we are going to suspend your time, your daily tasks, sometimes your money, and bring you into a world of conflict, a world of space, a world of love. And as Ron Burgundy said, a glass case of emotion. Film asks more, and it says, no, don't do this while you're doing the dishes. Don't do this while you're going on a run. Instead, sit down with us and broaden those horizons. While music can be a single auditory phenomena, what cinema does is it takes it and it puts it with pictures and with dialogue to bring us into another world. So that when Will Hunting, Good Will Hunting is told by Robin Williams, it's not your fault, he is not only speaking to him, he is speaking to us. Our scars are healed, our guilt absolved, and our innocence replenished. And just like not everyone can see Cynthia Erivo on Broadway, they can see her in Wicked, everyone deserves a chance to fly, and movies for us. We are better for good.
You flew through that one. Okay, Lucas Meyer on the argument pro music. So Nicole Servinis, you are arguing that you could live without movies. So let's hear it. 2 minutes.
Now listen, Movies are great, but music is a necessity. It's what we refer to often as a cultural universal that bonds us, like love or religion. It connects there's no borders. Again, it transcends time and something that everybody can enjoy together. But most importantly, I want to go back in time. Music to me is primal. It actually came before the spoken word. It was over 40,000 years ago where actually a flute was discovered that was made of bird bones. So as you can see, also going into the science realm, music has benefited so many health benefits. I'm going to kick things off with a McGill University study that says that it stimulates the dopaminergic system, and that's a part of the brain that stimulates food, love, and reward. Who doesn't want that? We also know that music also helps with anxiety, with autism, with dementia. So you can see there's many benefits to that as well. And I'm going to take this a step further, my friends. I'd like to even say that music makes movies what they are. Let's be honest. I don't think there are certain films that would be as iconic as they are without the score. Let's take composer John Williams, for example. He has composed Star Wars, Jaws, Harry Potter, Schindler's List, Emotions Beyond, that are iconic movies because of these scores, because of these soundtracks that we've taken through the years. And with that, two notes, let me give you. Jaws. Iconic.
I got to give you 2 dings.
Thank you.
Nicole, very spirited. Okay, so interesting. So did Nicole hit the right notes, or has Lucas convinced our judges? That's the question. The judges right now are going over each point, considering how the opening round of this debate went. They seem confused. They seem to really be talking this up. So we'll hear what the panel thinks. They're tallying up the points each contestant has accumulated in round 1, but there is one key round to go. We're talking about the rebuttal round. This is CP24's The Great Debate. The rebuttals come up right after this here on CP24. Check it out after this. All right, ding, ding, ding. Let's begin round 2. This is the rebuttal round. And this is a reminder. Here's an interesting topic we're debating right now. Lucas and Nicole, would you go without music or could you go without movies? It's a 5-minute free-for-all. Lucas arguing he could live without music. Nicole saying, no way, I need the music. Nicole, you are going to begin the rebuttal round. Here we go.
Okay. Like I said, music is universal. It's something that we can all enjoy. I also like to say that music has started movements. It's made a massive impact in the world. Let's take Bob Marley. You know, We Are the World. The connection that music has and the impact that it's had to bring us together and feel connected in that way, no matter the language also. I sing songs in Spanish. I don't know what the bloody words are, but do I enjoy it? Does it make me happy? Does it make me feel something? Yes.
No one is taking away the incredible value of music, but Nicole, we're friends. We met 30 minutes ago.
We did.
I feel like we trust each other. Let me ask you an honest question.
Ask me a
question. Have you cried more at film or at a song?
A song.
That is,
and I tell you
let me ask you this. Do you think that that's the vast majority of people? Do you think if you ask most people, have you rather cried at a movie or a song? I'd love to know the answer to that.
You know what? I think you're underestimating the emotional
That's not the question.
tie that lyrics have.
What do you think most people? What do you think most people have cried at a movie or a song?
I disagree.
What do you think?
A song.
You think most people would say song. I think most people watching that know that that's completely untrue. And by the way, if I may add, you talked before, I want to pick up something you said. You said music makes film. I actually would argue the other way. Let's take an example, a recent one, Barbie. What do I live for? The Billie Eilish song. Am I getting the title right? It doesn't matter. You know what song I'm talking about.
Also, she made that movie.
But here's the point, though. That song in and of itself that Billie Eilish sings, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
But you don't get the full
by the way.
emotional connection until you see Margot Robbie in that film and to see the montage that what happens at the end.
You're getting blinded by Margot Robbie. She's a beauty.
It was
Obviously, you're
the
thinking
film
you need to see
that makes
her.
the song that case. And by the way, on health benefits, I think that movies get a bad rep. In fact, you talked about your own research. A 2015 study in the National Journal of Medicine released the release of OxyContin in the brain when watching film, which is associated with a heightened feeling of empathy and compassion. Now, why is this important? Empathy is a key characteristic to emotional intelligence.
There
so
is
you
a therapy that has been developed.
A lot of people based on if they cry at a film or not. In fact, folks, I'll tell you right now, if you want to know if you have a good part in your life, see if they're going to cry at the same film that you do. And if they don't, you might have to reconsider your options.
I'm going to take your note a step further.
Please.
Music can make people cry. Why? They're played at the most important times in their life. Take for a wedding, for example. You don't cry when you when you're kissing for the first time. You're crying when you have your first
You're
dance.
crying when you see the entire experience, Nicole.
No,
That's the whole point.
you're crying
That's
in the
why you know
moment.
that people
You don't
cry
cry
at film.
necessarily when you
know that
reflect
they
back.
cry at film.
No,
you know that they cry at film because
that's
it's an entire
not
experience.
true.
In
Music
fact,
is
you
there
said
for
the
the
point
most
that
important moments
music was
of
started
your
40,000 years ago. That music can be
Milestones.
easy. Anybody can pick
Before
up a guitar
cinema,
and string a few notes.
Musicians listening.
So what
listen to
happens? I'm
Lucas
not saying
just
it's easy. No, I'm not saying it's easy.
downgraded
What I'm
the
saying is
ability to play music.
it's incredible. I love people
It's
who play
an
music.
art form.
I used to play the ukulele in elementary school just as good as anybody back in
Maybe
Montreal.
you're just bitter because you never
Not
made
at
it
all.
in that
Not
career.
bitter, not whatsoever.
Okay.
But what you have to do as a filmmaker is you have to take that as one component and turn it into an entire experience.
But
That
what do you
is what
think
brings
music
us
does?
and broadens our
music
horizons.
does that
Yes?
in less time,
Yes.
with less words, and less support.
Have you cried more at film or song? You still haven't answered the question.
I answered your question. In
No, I don't
songs.
think you
I'm
did.
a dancer, Lucas.
As
you
am I.
You
I
studied
was the
dance
Prince of the
as well.
Nutcracker twice.
I was raised
It's one thing to listen to
emote
Tchaikovsky.
with music
It's one
and
thing
use
to
my
listen to
body
Tchaikovsky.
and by
It's another thing to
listening
see the
music.
dancers on the stage. It is one thing to just listen to Tchaikovsky, but when
We
you
didn't even
see
touch upon
the Sugar
live
Plum
music.
Fairy go up in the air,
concerts,
that
the
is a
live
visual experience
of
that
music.
only film can replicate.
That is
I
not
might say
true.
that
Have
is
you been to a
absolutely true.
concert?
Have I been to a concert? Of course I've been to a concert. I've been
That's
to
what
many
music
concerts.
is, the ability to do that.
But that is also a visual medium. You're separating, you have to distinguish music in and of itself with the entire
I've been in
experience.
a crowd, I'll just give an example, Coldplay, where the amount of people that are just closing their eyes and taking in the beauty
When
of what
Neo
they're
tells
witnessing.
Morpheus, I know Kung Fu, we feel we all know Kung Fu, and you know that's true.
But do you?
I do.
I feel like the audience might have been brought to tears after that debate there. That went all the way to crying and the emotions connected to music and movies. Fantastic debate, both of you. Really, really enjoyed that, but really interesting.
Nick.
Doesn't matter what I think, though. It matters what this esteemed panel... I see they're putting on headphones. Is that an indication of...
Oh!
They are going clean sweep on that. Nicole Servinis. Okay, I wasn't sure which way that was going to go. Nicole,
Sorry, Lucas.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Nicole.
Shake hands with your
I'm
friend
stuck with over
Lucas.
here.
All right.
Spirited debate.
Lucas, well done. Thank you so much. Hey, wow, Nicole is going to move on to the semifinals right now. Hey, this has been CP24's The Great Debate. Tune in tomorrow, Wednesday night, for more exciting debates. The semifinals are tomorrow. You're watching on CP24 and YouTube. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Whoa.